the revolutionaries were not backward, they were not medieval, they were very sharp-minded, and I don't consider Iran to be an authoritarian dictatorship. Again, I'm not saying it's no utopia. Can't see any utopia on this planet as we speak. But I think that the political establishment was able to use that to its advantage. And it's not only Iran. It's right. For decades it was Iran, but of course it's also linked to Israel. The fact that Iran was opposed to apartheid in Palestine, and the Israeli government and and Zionists in the United States are so keen on supporting the Israelis and apartheid in Palestine, that helped increase antagonism towards Iran significantly. But I think it's not just unique to Iran. In more recent years, for example, after Russia fell to its knees, basically, when the Soviet Union collapsed, for a period of time, the Russians were no longer demonized. But when we saw the revival of Russia under President Putin, we saw the Russians beginning to become increasingly antagonized. In other words, this hatred, this deep-seated hatred towards the Russians, and began to, I think, sort of manifest itself in a similar way as their hatred towards Iran did. And then, of course, more recently, China. Until 5-6 years ago, no one was talking about how evil the Chinese government was. But with the rise of Trump, suddenly the discourse in the United States dramatically changed. And all of a sudden, the Chinese were doing all sorts of evil things. All you have to do is check the websites of MSNBC or CNN or Fox News or anyone. Suddenly you see all sorts of reports on China. So the political establishment in the United States, the corporate media, the media affiliated to the state, and the so-called human rights organizations, and all these establishment NGOs and influential bodies in the United States together have been able to have a huge impact on how Americans think. And I think